Start when you're ready.
Lighting design can be horrible, uncomfortable, downright scary. But if it is done right, it can be healing, insightful, and beautiful. So the average lighting designer works on 15 to 30 projects a year. They work 20 to 30 hours getting the lighting design done, and between 5 and 10 hours a week doing redesign. That is $7.8 million worth of wasted time. LiteSwap is going to provide a one-stop shop for resources for the industry. They're going to have a software, an app, and they're going to link all of the products that they need at one location. The BIM, specifications, anything else that they can use to do their calculations. So the target market is $2.1 million, and the way we're going to acquire most of our market is through social media, ads in industry magazines. We're also going to look at doing online ads. We're not going to really invest in email. So what we're going to, sorry. All right.
Back to the top. Let's go.
All right, so let's go to this part.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So my name is Julie Johnson. I am CEO and founder of LiteSwap. So I'm just going to go to the summary of what I'm going to discuss today. And I'm going to discuss the company, some of the opportunities, the problems that exist in the industry today, also the team that we are lining up to produce the product, and some of the information for the funding we are seeking down the road. So LiteSwap is a software company that strives to provide lighting designers all the resources that they need. We're going to have proprietary tools with pending patents. And we are hoping that we can help lighting specifiers be more successful and also more efficient. So this is where I'm going to tell you a little story. So in the world of lighting design and construction, what usually happens, especially in hospital projects, they have a timeline from concept to construction of 10 years. What happens is we have schematic design that takes anywhere from 1 to 2 years. We have design development, which is another 1 to 2 years. And we also have construction, which usually ends up being 3 to 5 years unless it's a really huge campus. What is happening now in the trends is what's considered fast-paced design build. What this is, it's a very short schedule for the same thing. We have 1 year for schematic design, 1 year for design development, and 2 to 3 years for construction. So, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the Shands Cancer Hospital here in town. I did that. So, we did the fast-paced design build. 1 to 2 years, we worked on schematic design and design development. I have a 3-inch binder of all my lighting cut sheets, my renderings, my sketches, my calculations to meet code, do everything that I need to make sure I'm providing Shands with the best lighting possible. What happens during construction is I get a phone call. Guess what? You are $2 million over budget. I'm like, okay, now what? So the electrical contractor gives me another 3-inch binder. He says, I want you to look at all these products and see if you can substitute them for your products on design. I go through them. It takes me an entire month. 1 entire month dedicated. I reject it. They don't work. They're not equals. I get a second binder, 3 inches. I go through all those. Most of them are okay. At this point, I'm getting pressure to accept it because if I don't accept it at this point, I'm holding up construction. This is something that happens all the time on projects, and it is even going faster. And a lot of our clients are now asking for initial construction costs before design is built, before design is even considered. They want to know how much the lighting package is going to be. They want to know the products on it. So how are we going to do this? So the problem, current methods and resources are out of date, they're inefficient. You have to talk to multiple people to get the information. On average, I talk to 3 to 4 reps. Depending on how good the rep is, I can get information that same day, or it takes 3 weeks. Another problem is cost of construction is going up. Usually that's in the fees for a lot of materials, fees for your construction admin, and fees for the man who are actually building the building. So you know what? That's awesome. They're doing a great job. They deserve the pay. Problem 3, average of $7.8 million worth of man hours are wasted doing the exact process I told you about. Problem 4, most of the time, specifiers aren't paid for that additional time. I did not get any extra money for those 2 months I spent. In fact, we went negative on the project. The solution. So what do we want for the goals? Time. Time is important. That is one of the most valuable resources we have. So let's save some time. Quality. We want good quality designs because you know what? When I'm receiving those binders, not all products are quality. They're not equals. So what does that do for the design that's out there? And what does that do for the owner down, when they're working with this building for 20 years and things start falling apart and I get a phone call 6 months later saying, hey, these light fixtures are failing. Can you help us? Team. Want to get the best team possible to get the best product out there. And how is this going to work? How are we going to win? Be one step ahead. Let's get all that information, all the budget information right up front without going through all these steps, all these people, all this roundabout. So the solution. So what LiteSwap wants to provide is a one-stop solution. Web-based configurable library. This is going to be a web-based software. All your items are going to be on there. It's going to be image recognition database, priority-based protocols. You can go through and pick all the items so you can match everything together. And we're going to have all the documents that a lighting designer specifier needs. That would be your specification cut sheets, your IS files or photometrics, your BIM model elements, your contacts, and your price points. Now the prices have to be hidden because in the lighting industry, you don't really know what the total cost is because everybody adds their percentage in. But what we can provide for that are dollar signs for averages, so you can kind of estimate $1 sign. Okay, it's a pretty reasonable price. $3 signs, it's getting a little bit outside my budget. So help with that. 2, tiered solution. So the first product going out is actually going to be tailored more towards the lighting specifier. As this gets out there, we're going to transition more towards reaching towards lighting reps and also distributors. The third tier solution is actually going to be marketed more towards the manufacturer and the distributor collaboration effort. So what is really the intention for that last software product is that when the electrical contractor is working with his rep or distributor to get the products out there, he has a live timeline of when he's getting that product. He'll know when they're making it in the manufacturing and when he's going to get it out to the field himself. And so right now, also being provided is going to be an app for everyday users. Anyone can have this app. You can go out there, take a photo of something you want, and you can find that product. So why not? Just because of all the trends I mentioned. Everything is so fast-paced. There is a belief system in the industry that if you get everything up front, it's going to be cheaper down the road. But what is not understood is certain technologies like LED, that's not the case. When you purchase it later on down the road, those costs are going down and they're more efficient. But we still have to play the game, right? So, the market. So right now, the market that is being considered are usually architects, because they are most of the specifying group. Architects, lighting designers, lighting engineers, lighting reps, distributors, and just like some of those mom and pop places that do a little bit of everything. So they're all included in this overall target market. So the numbers I have over there, the 29,000, that is actually the physical attendance of Light Fair 2015. That is the number of people attended from all over the country that are in the lighting industry. That is not my original goal. Original goal is right there, 3,258. Small piece of pie in the beginning until traction takes off. So if we look at the largest opportunity for growth, commercial construction is going to have the biggest gain between 2015 and 2015. 5.8% of total construction put in place is going to be installed lighting. $152 billion is spent on lighting design, or lighting products actually installed in those buildings. There is a lot of growth and potential just tailoring to this market itself. So there was a survey sent out to the target market, and these are the 4 top items that they want to see in a product that LiteSwap is already going to provide. So 81% want that full analysis effort effort where they can pick their products and compare them in detail and make sure they're apples to apples and not apples and oranges. They also like someone to compare the products. So what we're talking about comparing are the photometrics, the IES files. The way that light fixture actually produces light and physically uses space. LiteSwap is going to provide a way for you to pick those products and look at it live, 3D, 2D, and compare the photometric webbing or the performance of that product in the space before you buy it. Links. 75% of everybody wanted links right there on the spot instead of having to go to every single manufacturer's website or go through the reps. They actually want it right there, one time, one spot. And ease. Everybody wants it easy. I mean, why not? But this is fun stuff. All right, so these screenshots are not what's actually going on. This is the concept because the development is still in the works. First thing that's going to happen is they're going to have user credentials to log in. Username and password. You're going to want to put the project information in their location because the location that you put in is actually going to tell you the lighting reps you're going to deal with in order to get that product. And project role, because project role tells you what part of the software you are going to actually use. Not everyone is using all portions of the software. They're not having all the access. There's a reason why. 3, multiple ways to upload. So this you can't really see very well, but up here, this is kind of this little sliver of a standard light fixture schedule that a lighting specifier would do. You can upload that schedule, pick it as your product to match to, and then it pulls up all of these potential products. So now it actually looks like that. So you have like maybe 3 that actually look like that product out of all of these products. Now when you think about this is pretty big because there are over 6,600 manufacturers shipping products to the USA right now. That's not the type of products, that's the manufacturers. And then there's the selection process itself. So you can select on those products, those 3 will pull up, and that's when you're going to have another window where it's going to compare everything in detail, and you'll have the option of comparing the photometrics and view it in 3D. So here's the app. So the app is going to be something fun. So I'm going to go out to a really cool club. I really like the lighting that they have in that lobby or vestibule. Guess what? It'll look really great above my dining table. So I'm taking a picture. I'm selecting that product. I'm telling them it's a pendant because it's a suspended product. I'm picking out what type of distribution I think that product is doing. And then it's going to pull up all these suitable products that are going to match. And I'm going to say, hey, you know what? That's it. Click it, and it'll pull me up to another window where I can purchase it. So this is the total process of the concept for that. Find a product, purchase product, install product. So the team. And of course, we have to have this in here because Star Wars is coming out, and they have lightsabers.
Oh, there you go.
How cool is that?
Where are those in the list?
I bet you we could find something like that. They're custom products.
Yeah,
Custom.
I like my living room.
So when we look at the organization chart, we're really keeping it lean. We're going to have a CTO, a CEO, one person for marketing, finance, HR, sales, and production to start with. As things start blowing up on us, which eventually it will, most of the forces that we're providing, most of the additions we're going to provide are sales and the data entry because this is such a data-intensive product. I mean, LiteSwap is only as good as its library. All right, so the analysis. Let's just look at the strengths, their advantages, capabilities, the resources and assets, opportunities. We have a lot of market developments, industry drives, weaknesses, financials. Okay, we're starting with nil. That's definitely a weakness. And need of the market. Lighting industry, you really need to have a good reputation. And threats, obstacles, global economic effects on industry, and also an issue would be lack of manufacturer participation. So business model. How we're going to make the money. So technically this is a business-to-business software as a service product, and we're going to have monthly and yearly subscriptions with additional services and fees. Transactions are possible down the road with the app. LiteSwap is looking into that right now, but there are no numbers for that yet. And data, if there was a deal with the manufacturer and they have a lot of data to include, there's going to be a low fee. Another way that we're looking at this, branding, websites, print advertising, cross-promotion, channel partners, and internet advertising. One of the big things that is a bonus is a cross-promotion with a partner. Right now, lighting analysts is a big name in the industry. They know their stuff. They've been out there for 30 years. LiteSwap's talking about. Good business partner. Timeline for some of the development of the products. Year one, looking at the beta development, testing the beta, pull everything back into that to get the full development. In the end, or beginning of year two, we're going to look at the product number 2, which is the one that I mentioned earlier that was geared more towards lighting rights. And then later on, towards year 2, we're going to start developing the product that's geared more towards the manufacturer and the national contractor collaboration. So marketing plan. Now we're going to look into email. Big chunk of this is going to be trade magazine advertising, the internet banner ads on those trade magazine online, attend a couple conferences, looking at attending Light Fair 2017, looking at attending a couple other ones that are really important, cross-promotion also through some of the major business acquaintances that we have. So just the marketing timeline of when we want to pull these different channels into play during our endeavors. So year one, we're really going to go all into it. We're going to spend a lot of money on that. We're looking at between $150,000 to get all our marketing, branding, and everything out there. It's a worthwhile investment. So, our software pricing table and services. A lot of these numbers were actually based off of some of the survey feedback. So, the typical software product that everyone's going to use is a single user and the network multiple user. Those are going to run at $660 a year, or they can actually do the $55 a month. They have both options because I see that the market really likes that flexibility. And then also with these subscriptions, the network client have some support plus network. If there's anything else we can help them with, they have problems, and always going to be there for them. So e-commerce, one thing that is being looked at as the app is developed is talking with Slice. The image recognition market is worth $25.6 billion in the future. That's a pretty good number. LiteSwap wants to piggyback on that. Why not get in that? That is one of the fastest trending revenue producing app products out there. Social media resources. Where do we want to start? Okay, Pinterest. Everyone does Pinterest. So LiteSwap is going to start doing Pinterest, pinning concepts, inspirational photos. Let everybody else pin it. Let them get out there. That's going to be one of the first things that are hit. Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. A lot of this front end, very visual, very user-friendly interface, a lot of back and forth. Blogging, YouTube, a little bit, and Facebook a little bit. So these are actually ranked in order of how they're going to be used. Competitor analysis. So this is looking at LiteSwap versus old school is what I call it. So LiteSwap brings to the table all the different things that I mentioned were problems where cut out a lot of the middlemen, cut out a lot of the in-between timelines, the weight gain, the pricing weight gain. There's not a lot of transparency in the pricing. Old school way is definitely something that's holding back people and making them inefficient. So here are just some of the competitors that is being looked at right now. So you can see all the different items that LiteSwap offers. Now Slice is someone that's being spoken to about using their API because they have a really good photo image and matching and it's easy to use. They're not really a direct competitor, they're kind of more like a friend. We can hang with that. And Productify, they are mostly a spreadsheet type of database that helps manufacturers and everybody else kind of organize all their information, which is somewhat of what we're doing as well. So lighting analysts, I already mentioned before, they have a photometric toolbox that provides all the photometric analysis, and that is also available on API, and they're also allowing LiteSwap to use their Instabase and link up to LiteSwap for any future marketing. And then SiteLight actually is really kind of neat. They're an app, but it's just for exterior site lighting only, and it's mostly just for reps. So there's no direct competitor that does everything. They do little bits and pieces. So that's probably an easier visual there.
Could
So,
you go back to that,
yeah.
one, please?
Sure.
Thanks.
So the unfair advantage, like this huge symbol. All right, business relationships, as I mentioned before, lighting analysts have had a lot of good conversations with them on how to make this a symbiotic relationship. Illuminating Engineering Society. So myself, the CEO, I am heavily integrated into that society there, and they are well known for being the leaders on lighting design and site industries and guidelines. And SLICE. We've been talking to them about the API for the app. Tiered solution, tailoring the use to each person. So lighting specifiers, they have one version. Your lighting reps, another version. Your manufacturers, distributors, another version. But it all is based off of the main data or library database. And the team. So pretty qualified team that is being worked with. There's a great branding team, a good PR team. And people are passionate. Lighting is a passion. You would not believe how crazy people get about it. All right, management team. Now I got minions and lifesavers. Best of both worlds. So that's me, CEO. So I have 15 years in commercial lighting and electrical design, 2 years project management. I'm lighting certified through the NCQLE, and I'm VP of the Jacksonville IES chapter here. And also, I'm an advisor on the IES RP 29 writing. That's the healthcare lighting design guideline that's coming out later this year. And the CTO, Robert Smallwood, he has 12 years of commercial automation and programming, 9 years web development, data visualization, and database management. So he's going to be the main person driving a lot of the choices that are made. Here are the other companies and teams that have been spoken to, meetings with. So the developer that is on the A team is Purple Rock Scissors. They're based out of Orlando. They've been doing this type of product for a long time, and they have a lot of really good local and international clients. Paris Wave, they're a local branding team, and they're very good. They are very energetic and very passionate. And Ellison Partners, PR, a lot of people know some of the people they have PR for, Harley Davidson, I like them. And Ray Robinson, legal. Ray Robinson actually helped with the patent that has been submitted in early this month. So they're going to help protect all the IP. Financial projections. So this is just the use of proceeds and the burn rate that is being considered for the first 2 years. You can see that the first year is pretty heavy with all the professional fees to pay the developer and everything else. There's a little bit of an up and down where there's some positive and some negative later on, but most of the money is actually being vetted out to the professional fees, and then the salaries later on in year 2.
All right, 20.
Correct, 20?
Nah.
Alright.
So, here, next slide.
So the first question, tell us more about your
Just keep
Alright,
going.
alright, so here's the profit and loss slide, and I have highlighted green, where there's really truly a good point where they're starting to make profits, because there's a little up and down in the first year. You can see a lot of it's in the beta and the full development cost and the maintenance of the product itself. And then comparison diagram where the break-even point is going to occur. So just kind of timeline milestones for what happened before we met up in this room until now. So the idea, the birth of the solution was at the beginning of the year. Worked on the business plan, started the company officially with a Delaware S-Corp. Hired FMI, they did all the research for LiteSwap, and then hired Ray Robinson, who did all the patent work. And then also talking with lighting analysts as a good partner, meeting with Paris Week, talked with PRS for the development, got the survey out there, provisional patents. So this is kind of the wish list for the future, get some funding, get the beta, get some funding, get the development and deploy. And then continue on until about year 3, where the goal is to try to keep on capturing some of those larger target markets besides the lower 3,000 number that was shown earlier. So just funding and goals timeline there, a little bit of a shot. And then just another summary, just to kind of pepper it enough. Right, and the end. So I'm gonna look it over, it's like 2 minutes over.
Sure.
10 minutes, 2 minutes, an hour.
Probably about 2.5, 2 minutes, sure.
All right.
Can you talk about the whole rep system and how it works?
Okay, so the lighting rep system,
Sorry.
the whole lighting rep system is manufacturers pay these lighting rep companies to help get their product out there. They meet with users, they meet with people like me, the specifiers, everything else. Anytime there's a new product, they get out there. What happens is they give the rep a certain percentage. So I get quoted a number. Say there's a product that I want that's $250. But then the actual number, you have to add the 20% in for the lighting rep and another 10% in for the distributor. So that's an additional 30% when it's all said and done.
So if you get quoted a price without the
Yep.
extras in it.
Yeah, but that's not what the client is. Right.
Is that system like locked in
Oh,
stone?